that really hurt our business as well because we were doing a lot of work at workwear and formal wear, and obviously people weren't going to work and people weren't going
no parties during COVID.
Right.
Yeah.
So that really hurt our business, and that kind of we recognized the opportunity to kind of do a full scale 180 pivot into e-commerce fulfillment.
Welcome to Clicks and Bricks Podcast. We talk about the entrepreneur mindset.
If you get one shot at this, what kind of shot are you going to take?
If we forget who we are, they're going to forget who you are.
You've got an adversity story that's out of this world.
Everything from that Main Street brick and mortar to that billion-dollar manufacturer.
Can you tell the audience a little bit about yourself, who you are, and a little bit about your background?
Yeah, so I went to Cal State University of Northridge, graduated in 2000, thinking that I want to work in equities and kind of in the stock market. Moved to New York and got a corporate job. Coincidentally, at the same time, there was the .com bubble, so it became a little bit more challenging to find the right job. Didn't end up working in equities, worked in syndicated loans for a few years. Came to realize that I just, I don't want to work for somebody else. I don't want to, deal with the corporate, what's the word? The corporate life and corporate America and the politics and, kissing ass for the lack of a better word. Wanted to kind of work for myself. Moved back home in 2003 and started selling goods on eBay. That was kind of where I got my start in e-commerce. And then back then, like anything you put on eBay sold. It was just, it was great. It was a good time. And that's kind of like where my beginnings were. And I started selling clocks. It was like one of the first things I sold, and it didn't really do well. So that was my first failure. Then I got into more like sporting goods. Like I sold corporate gifts and things like that kind of like evolved into like knickknacks. Eventually got into like posters, selling posters online, and postergods.com was like my first success, and that did really well until the recession hit in 2008. And the climate of online sales changed, and we had to kind of change with that. 2012, I started a company with my current business partner called Place Stores. We originally started selling furniture online, but that didn't take off. So we kind of pivoted to apparel. So we basically contracted with designer brands and department stores, and we were kind of like a Ross or Marshalls, but we sold on all different marketplaces all over the world. We still do that business, and that grew really, really fast. And we leveraged that opportunity to get into like fulfillment. Like we had people knocking on our door to do fulfillment. So we grew that to a $20 million business. And then 2018, things kind of changed again, and our business plateaued a bit. And then when COVID hit, that really hurt our business as well, because we were doing a lot of work at workwear and formal wear, and obviously people weren't going to work and people weren't going
no parties during COVID.
Right.
Yeah.
So that really hurt our business, and that kind of we recognized the opportunity to kind of do a full scale 180 pivot into e-commerce fulfillment. And that's when our ShipBots brand was born about a year ago. So we kind of like put all of our energies into that. We added a warehouse, and now we're leveraging all of our experience that we've had as sellers, and really helping those small to mid-range companies get their businesses started. So, as you guys know and I talked about, e-commerce is growing rapidly and much greater extent than it did before because of COVID, and the climate of e-commerce has changed, and people are even more and more comfortable buying online. So a lot of these brick and mortar stores are going online and able to kind of leverage these opportunities. And to add to that, what's happening is there's no warehouse space. So in areas like Los Angeles, it's really challenging to find warehouse space. So in order to start a business, a 3PL e-commerce fulfillment provider, 3PL like ShipBots, has been, companies like us have been thriving because of the demand for warehouse space. So we enable people to come in and only pay for the space that they require. So, we help them grow, and it really is, it's economies of efficiency, because we still do high volumes of shipping. So we're able to kind of leverage these deep discounts that we have with FedEx, UPS, USPS, DHL, and all these
Right.
carriers, and be able to leverage our expertise to do things more efficiently and pass savings on to our clients.
Fantastic. And I want to dive way into that in a minute.
Yes.
But you said posterguys.com?
Poster gods.
Postergods.com. I got a story. In 1999, we were dealing with a guy in St. Louis, and he rented a place, right? And he was going to open a brick and mortar poster store. And he bought, to do that, he bought the domain name posters.com.
Yes.
And that store never opened. Like, the brick and mortar was just filled with posters, and he never even opened the store because it blew up instantly. He ended up exiting. He got a good price for that posters.com domain name just a few years later. But it was an interesting concept, because in 1999, 2000, it wasn't super common for somebody to get a domain name and not open their brick and mortar, right? It was all for, I'm going to buy this domain name to support my business and advertise my business. So it's a fun story. And posters back then, and they still are, right? I mean, they're still selling, but you got to be unique and creative in that game, or have every poster under the sun, right? One of the two.
Yeah, what happened? I mean, the margins are difficult, and the cost to advertise, just as you know, is just keeps increasing and establishing it. And I think that's like, the number one advice I would give people is when they're looking for new products, high margin is the way to go. And, posters just don't have a lot of money.
Well, on the surface, poster is high margin, right? It's 30 cents to print, and you sell it for $8, $10, something like that. But the cost to acquire a customer, and there's no recurring revenue there.
Yes.
Or it's hard to get recurring revenue unless you're selling to 13-year-old boys that hang Motley Crue posters on their bedroom wall.
Right. Right.
And there, you only have so much poster room in your wall space.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, we made money on, framing posters and doing certain things, and obviously multiple posters and recurring businesses. But when the recession hit, it just became too competitive, and it wasn't working anymore. And
in 2008, nobody was buying posters for the house they were losing.
Nobody. It was a difficult time, and hopefully we don't get back to those times ever again.
Yeah. All right. So now you're current, and it's ShipBots. ShipBots.com.
Correct.
So let me just try to figure out how this would work. I'm a guy, and I want to start selling a lamp, and I go to Alibaba and I buy 10,000 of them. I have them branded for me. Do I just ship them right to you?
Yeah, you can do that. So your first step obviously is recognizing the product, then the platform that you're going to sell it on. Are you going to sell it on Shopify, Amazon, WooCommerce, what platform? And we'll seamlessly integrate with whatever shopping cart you pick will feed into our system. So immediately, whenever you put a PO in our system, we recognize from China or wherever you're getting your product. We check whatever comes in, make sure that everything is as expected. We put it into a location or warehouse. And then when your order comes in, automatically instead of you getting the order, we get the order, we fulfill it, upload the tracking, and that seamlessly goes into your back end. So then you can concentrate on doing what you like, which is sales and marketing and product development and all the fun stuff. Right. Nobody likes doing the fulfillment part, especially nowadays. It's hard to find employees. It's hard to find people that are working, that want to work hard. So you can leverage our infrastructure and everything we've learned through the years instead of trying to reinvent the wheel. We're hoping that your business grows. Obviously, we invest in you. We're an extension of your company. And some of our clients move on to kind of starting their own warehouse. Some of them, they grow within our company, and it's just all whatever kind of meets your goals.
I have had products die because I couldn't figure out how to profitably package and ship them.
Yeah. And that's where we come in, right? Like we're a firm believer of packaging things safely, correctly, and having the best experience for our customers. And we partner up with a lot of packaging companies, and we put our name behind them, and we want to make sure that any way that we can help you grow your business, we're there, because our interests are aligned with you.
Fantastic. So I ship to you, you do the pick, pull, box it, ship it, all my logos, we work together.
Yeah.
And So I have to source my product and sell my product, and you handle all.
Exactly.
I got to market it, right?
Yeah.
My website. I'm still in charge of my website and all that fun stuff, right?
Right.
You
Yeah,
just help do that whole process.
So the three main things that we do is shipping, storage, and special projects. So
Okay.
a lot of, a lot of our clients have special needs, and that's why they come to us, because we're more of a smaller boutique shop. And a lot of 3PLs are more about numbers. They're not about like that customer experience. It's difficult to get through to them because to them you're just a number, right? And they have to be.
You're a lot square on their warehouse floor, right?
Exactly. So a lot of people come to us because they know that we'll take care of them. We'll follow their SOPs. We'll follow whatever guidelines they need. We have some clients that are, we have one client that requires us to sew on a patch, to spray perfume on her goods before it goes out. Like there's like
sew on a patch. You bust out the sewing machine and patch their...
yeah, they want us to do these things, so we get it done for them.
Okay, so you can do the high-end packaging as well.
Absolutely, yeah. So a lot of times, you'll work with our partners and you'll produce what packaging that you like, and they deliver it to us, and we make sure we have enough in stock and we're following your guidelines. So
wonderful.
Ultimately,
how important, in your opinion, and you've sold a lot of stuff, how important is having nice packaging for, obviously it's not important for the first sale, but how important is that really nice packaging for the repeat sales?
I think it's very important, especially in the growing environment. Like, unless you come up with a super unique product, you have to differentiate yourself. And the feeling of getting a package and opening it. It's like getting a present, right? And like that unboxing feeling that you get over and over again, it's amazing. And if you could take that to the next level, and the presentation of like getting a package the way, above and beyond your expectations, obviously creates a good, memorable experience, and more likely that your customer will come back and buy from you. So we're firm believers of proper packaging, making sure that it gets there on time, safely, and you have that great experience when you open the box.
Yeah, and eventually, I mean, inevitably the consumer ends up paying for that nicer packaging. But there are two brands that I buy from regularly. One of them's called Ubiquity, and the other one's Bose. That their packaging is just super duper high end, and I mean, both of them have phenomenal products as well. But it just gives you that comfort feeling when you're opening it, like the thick polished card, smooth cardboard, all that fun stuff. It's just really nice when a product or a brand thinks through their packaging all the way through. It changes the game quite a bit. Right?
Absolutely. And obviously, like you said, like you touched on, you have to have the margins in order to kind of absorb those costs. So
because it's not cheap, right? I mean, that's
not at all. And the cost of supplies and cost of everything is going up, and supplies is not any different than that. So obviously, you have to kind of work that into your equation. And when you're looking,
but I assume as inflation goes up and the market starts to slow down, the packaging will get shittier and shittier, right? Because that's going to be the first thing that they start cutting on, right?
Yeah, to some extent, but it all depends on the product and what the package is. We want and we want to partner with our clients to make sure that they're getting value for their dollars and they're working with the right suppliers. Yeah, because you can't trust everybody. Obviously, you have to do your diligence and vet those things, and you'll have the benefit of working with us, and the track record that we have with our suppliers. So
so I can see you're a basketball fan.
Yes.
And I remember when I was a kid, every city in the country just about had, a small little sporting goods store that you went to and bought your jacket with your name on it and your jerseys and all that stuff. And those businesses are almost gone, right?
Yeah.
But that to me is the kind of business that would really, your service would knock it out of the park for, right?
Yeah.
But those are generally independently owned and operated. They might have made their own products, but they might be sourcing them from somewhere else. How much space or finance does a small business owner need to commit before they can get a third-party logistics provider like yourself?
It's pretty cost effective, obviously, because you're only paying for the space required. Our monthly fees are as low as $200 to just work with us.
Okay.
And the cost of the space obviously is going to be a lot more cost effective to work with a 3PL than to go out and get a warehouse. Because
Yeah.
when you get a warehouse, you have to get enough space where you can grow into it, but then you're bleeding until you fill the warehouse, until your business
Right.
starts. So I think it's a very it's a very smart way to start. A lot of our clients start in their garage, and then they get their business to get going and get a few orders, and then they get that comfort level and their understanding of SWOR is like,
Right.
okay, I'm selling the right product to the right person and I have the right formula, and that's when they start looking for a 3PL. I mean, we do have
Okay.
clients that come in and just, they might have an idea and they don't have a garage, or they don't want to use their garage, and they come to us. And we find that, it just takes a little bit more time for them to kind of get off the ground, but we all, we're always here to help them in any way that we can. So I would say, it's a numbers game. You always have to do your diligence, talk to a few different 3PLs, like kind of understand, like learn as much as you can from people that have been there and done that.
Right.
And then, at some point you just have to, take a chance and jump in and do it.
Right. So for the Main Street mom and pop shop today that's got a product, they want to start selling it. They give you $200 a month. What is that, like a 24-inch by 4-foot shelf that's maybe 6 foot tall that they get?
Well, we charge a bit. So the $200 is just for the just to work with us, and that's the cost of the onboarding, the software, the VIP customer service. Like you'll have a dedicated account rep, and then you pay based on shelf space or pallet space, and all that's kind of tailored towards your needs. So we kind of look at your needs. Typically, we charge about $36 a pallet, about $5 for a bin space. So it depends on what you need. This is per month. And obviously we have the flexibility to, negotiate certain terms and kind of make things work out your way. At the end of the day, working with a 3PL that has discounted rates, has the infrastructure to be a more efficient than doing it yourself and learning yourself. At the end, it's an investment in your business, and it actually saves you a lot of money long term.
Yeah. And for the folks watching, just to give you an idea of warehouse space, low end warehouse goes as low as $1 a square foot.
Yep.
Maybe lower if you want to, dodge some bullets on your way to your warehouse.
Yeah.
All the way up to, I've got some warehouse space at $60 a square foot, which is insanity.
Wow.
Right. But, so it's all over the board. I think for warehousing, what you're doing is probably $1 to $5 a square foot on average nationwide, somewhere.
I would say, depending on size. That's right. And if you can get it, that's the problem. If you can get it, and
you can come to St. Louis and get it all day long if you need it.
Okay, well,
we have a lot of it here in St. Louis.
I might have to take you up on that.
Yeah,
because the way our business is growing, like obviously the demand is like huge, and we've in the last year we've signed 77 clients, which is remarkable for a new business. And we've had a lot of success the last 6 months, and it's incrementally growing. So we anticipate huge growth moving forward. So we're excited about that.
Yeah, this industry is going to keep growing. Now, where a lot of the viewers have heard of Amazon fulfillment services, and obviously that's a big, the gorilla in the room kind of competitor to you.
Right.
But you're way different, right? Because if I'm gonna source from Amazon and I want to sell direct to consumer, I have a split baby, this fork in the road that I've got to always be dealing with, and it's, if you've ever done it, it's a giant pain in the ass. Like it's not fun to do inventory management on a fork, because if I'm tight on inventory, I could have sold it over here while it's selling over here at the same time. Inventory tracking can get really challenging. So what you do is you can go to you, and then you'll deal with the Amazon fulfillment as well.
Yeah. So that's the beauty of our business, right? Because Amazon is a conflict of interest. They want you to sell on their website. Right. They want to take the fees from you, and they want to charge you storage, long-term storage, and they're there to maximize their profit, right? And they're not only that, they're limiting space for new sellers. So it's going to be more and more difficult to get space from Amazon. So what we do, a lot of our clients, they come to us, they want to go, and I forgot to talk about, like, if you want to sell directly on your Shopify store and have Amazon fulfill for you, they're going to charge you arm and a leg, because they don't want you to do that.
Right.
They're going
do they allow that though?
They do. Yeah, you can fulfill through Amazon any order from any marketplace. They just charge you a lot.
They just gouge you if it's not through the Amazon marketplace.
Right, because they
Okay.
want to sell on Amazon. They want to dominate. So
Right.
what's happening now is a lot of people are coming to 3PLs like ShipBots. And what we do is we could take a portion of your goods and send it to Amazon FBA, and then we can fulfill your orders from your online store or from any other marketplace. Walmart is doing really well, or there might be other marketplaces that we integrate with pretty much anything.
Right.
So we allow you a lot of flexibility to do that, and we won't. The beauty of ShipBots is that a lot of other 3PLs will nickel and dime you. We try to be as transparent as possible with fees. We try to show you everything, and keep it as simple as possible. We have flat rate shipping nationwide, so it's easy for you to calculate what you should charge your clients, and really kind of, we realize that the small to mid-sized businesses, they come into the space and they get overwhelmed with all these fees from 3PLs. So we realize that we need to make it as simple as possible and as clear as possible. And obviously we want them to be successful, because that's how we grow, is by their growth.
Right. So I have a product. We work at deal to the 200 a month. I'm going to send you a couple pallets, whatever. So that's pretty minimal fee.
Yep.
Is there and then is it a flat rate to pick and pull and ship each product? So are you getting a small margin on each?
Yeah, our shipping rates are inclusive of the pick and pack. And that's going back to what we said, is originally when we started the business, we broke it out to shipping and picking, packing, and realized that makes it too complicated for people. So our shipping rates, and we provide those rates, with our proposal, so exactly what they are. And our profits are built into those shipping rates, and they're a lot cheaper than you can get on your own. So if you go to FedEx, their rates from them would be higher than what we're providing you. So we really have gotten to that point where it's a win-win, because you're coming to ShipBots. Our main headquarters are 15 minutes from Long Beach Port, which is the largest port in the world. And then you have LAX about 10 minutes away from us. So we're strategically located in a high dense area of Los Angeles. And you're getting these great rates across the country. So you don't necessarily have to be in St. Louis or somewhere central. You can be in a good dense area and still ship economically.
Right. And then how are you competing with the Amazon, almost real-time delivery? Or is that not something you're going to play with, or is just whatever the carriers can do for you?
We do provide next day and 2-day shipping rates.
Right.
Are we as competitive as Amazon? Probably not. But at the end of the day, when you look at your total cost of doing business, and if you're looking to get away from Amazon and sell direct to consumer, where you don't have to pay Amazon's fees that continue to grow, then the right decision would be to work with the 3PL. Even though you still have the options of the 2-day shipping. You have to kind of build that into your margins.
Right. All right. So I have a friend that sells a lot of Jeep parts, right? He's got a website in the Midwest, and he, is heavy on Amazon fulfillment, right? He's over there and he's doing Amazon fulfillment. If a customer was in that position, and they've got the Amazon, and they're realizing post-pandemic that online their website sales have started going up, right? So they're trying to figure out how to make that change. But they're afraid to stop doing fulfillment from Amazon, because if the theory is if it's in their warehouse, they'll put it first in their line. Do you have a solution for somebody that says, hey, I want to continue doing my Amazon fulfillment, but I want to ship you some inventory as well? Or would they have to keep track of both of them separate?
No, you can do it. In our backend, we'll integrate with both. And, I would suggest him sending us product and then having us fulfill to FBA. And then making sure that he's not sending too much to Amazon, because when the long-term storage fees kick in, they can be very expensive. So
you'll help balance that teeter-totter.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's probably a pretty big benefit right there. So
absolutely,
because I guess, and I don't do Amazon fulfillment at all right now. You know some of the tips and tricks on how much to send them, how frequently to send them.
Yeah.
And if my memory serves me correctly, it's almost like you need to send them to multiple different fulfilled by Amazon locations, right?
Yeah,
If you send it all to one, then you're going to lose some of the benefit of being there.
It all depends on your sales rank, right? If your product doesn't sell that frequently, they're gonna have you send it to one facility. But if it's a big seller and there's a high sales rank, they're gonna ask you to sell multiple boxes to different areas.
Right.
And obviously Amazon requires you to use their shipping labels. So we would use those labels on your behalf and send it over. But like to what you mentioned, Amazon gives you that information as far as like your sales velocity and how much they suggest that you have on hand, and we kind of work with those numbers and work with our clients to make sure that we're sending the right amount to Amazon, we're keeping enough for their direct to consumer business outside of marketplaces. We found that a lot of our clients, especially the niche products, are trying to get away from selling on Amazon. They're more focused on direct to consumer and Shopify and other shopping carts for multiple reasons. I mean, you have a lot of competition on Amazon. You have a lot of conflict of interest when it comes to Amazon copying products and taking advantage of that information that they get for products that are doing well, and kind of like tweaking the algorithm in their favor for best match.
I don't know if Amazon's an evil company, but they're not unequal. They're not the most beneficial for the world, right? They've done some great stuff. I think we'll see. I think we'll see a degrade of Amazon over the next 10 years, and this more of a mom and pop local shops popping up that can service the whole nation, right? I think the world's ready for that again, right? That's the way the internet was kind of 2002, 2007. It kind of just went all Amazon took most. So I think people are recognizing that.
And I think you'll see more and more of these brick and mortars turning into more showrooms, like having more of a branding marketing tool rather for an online sales.
Or an experience, really, right? Exactly. Bring it in for the experience and then sell the product, which is absolutely post-COVID, at least the next 5 years, it's going to be hard to get people out of their house and into your business without giving them something other than a transaction.
Yeah.
Unless it's milk or bread, right? I mean, they're going to leave their house for that. Or actually, I don't even leave my house for that anymore. It shows up on my doorstep.
Well, I like every time I go to the mall, I question myself, why am I going to the mall? Because I hate looking for parking. You go into a store, you got to find somebody you can't find somebody to check you out, or help you, and then on top of that, it's just so easy. It's just to be able to buy online, and as people gain trust and comfort, and it was always about back in the day, it was you were worried about giving your credit card numbers. I don't think that's a concern anymore.
Well, and for the local mom and pop shop, they can still use Amazon Pay without using Amazon. So you can gain the trust of Amazon. You can gain the trust of PayPal, Stripe, Square, all of those places, right? So, in the 2002, 2003 era, you had to roll your own credit card processing, right? And it was, but that back then I was doing microtransactions, like $1 and $2 transactions, really, really challenging. But I learned a lot overcoming those challenges.
Same.
Yeah. So it's really tough. But today, you can kick up manufacturing, get some product from Alibaba, or build your own stuff, right? And do your own manufacturing, find a packet, a 3PL, which is third-party logistics.
Right.
And then get going with, pretty low budget. Who would be too small for a company like you?
You know what? We pretty much take a lot of different people. I mean, for us, we look at clients. Obviously, we look at kind of like your plan. We want to make sure that you're not wasting your time. You're not wasting our time. We want to make sure you kind of have a business plan in place. You have an idea in place, and you have a kind of understanding of what it takes to get there, right? Because if you just send us, we're not interested in becoming a storage facility, and we don't want you to. We can help you find a storage facility.
That's way less expensive.
Yeah. So the short answer is we take pretty much everybody, because as long as you have the right train of mind, the right plan, the right business plan, you kind of have understanding as far as where you need to go. we'll help you get there. So, we won't discourage anybody from reaching out to us. We'll try to help you in any way. And if we're not a good fit, we'll help you find a 3PL that will be a good fit for you. So
Okay.
we like to offer that as something that, concession, so that we could be a resource for anybody.
So not too small, but maybe not vetted enough, right? If your product isn't vetted enough, or I would make the assumption that if you didn't have a recurring model, say I came across, a couple hundred units of a specific product, is that something you would take?
Yeah, absolutely. We've done that for clients. Reasons people come to us, like, we offer better rates. Some people don't know how to do international, so like they get confused with what DDP and DDU means, and like customs issues, and they're scared to sell overseas, but that's a huge opportunity. Potentially grow your business 20 to 25% on average. So they come to us and we give them the ability to ship international. You talked about next day and 2-day. That's cost prohibitive a lot of times. So you can come to us. We make it more cost effective, even though it's pretty expensive. So, there's very many. We also have temp control.
It's expensive at Amazon now too.
Is it?
Yeah. Next day is getting, they've raised their prices on shipping.
Yeah. And like you touched on, if Amazon is getting more and more strict as far as staying on their platform. So, you are very much at the mercy of Amazon's rules and regulations. So, being in charge of your own destiny and being able to charge direct to consumer and building your own brand on its own, to stand on its own, is very valuable.
Absolutely. I think it's, I talk a lot about defending your position, and it's something that I've not done multiple times in my life, right? I was making a lot of money on Amazon when I was younger, not too much younger. I was selling Yamaha pianos through Amazon. I had a website called Watch Ren and Stimpy. I was selling Ren and Stimpy merch nonstop through Amazon. Yeah. And one day they go, "Oh, you can't sell anymore because we're in a fight with the state of Missouri and you live there." So, and it was one day I woke up and I'm like, okay, life is great. And I wake up one day and all of it's gone, like just completely gone. That's a recurring story in my life for sure. Yeah. But, if you're building an entire business model around one platform, you're in trouble long term. You might get lucky and they never shut it off, but you're not in control of your destiny. The state, the governments, the all of those things, they made it illegal for me to sell products in the state of Missouri through Amazon. I could do it again, but it took me a lot of energy to get those things up and going and recurring. So it's a dangerous game if you're only on one marketplace.
Absolutely.
Right. It's scary stuff. And in today's world, with cancel culture and everything else, you just never know when that's going to go. Right. I could probably go story after story, right? Ammunition. I was selling ammunition and they shut that off on all platforms for a long time. So it's a tough game. And if you only have one, you're in trouble. And
from my experience and your experience as well, the world of e-commerce changes very fast, like very fast. Trends come in and out very fast. Regulations change fast. Costs change very fast. Things just move very quickly, and you have to adapt. And obviously, diversifying is very important, and always being ahead of the game. Right? You always have to kind of think a few steps ahead and make sure that you're positioning yourself for the future.
Right. Now, how technically savvy are you on your platform?
How tech savvy are you?
Are you on your platform? Do you understand all the tech, or do you outsource that to your team?
Well, I'm more of the operations guy here. I'm more of the sales and marketing. My business partner is more of he's the programmer.
Okay. If I rattled off a couple shopping carts, could you say you're integrated or not integrated?
I think so. Let's try it.
Amazon and Shopify, absolutely. WooCommerce?
Yes, 100%.
OS Commerce?
Yes.
And Magento?
Yep, 100%.
All right, so you got the big. That's probably the top 5, right?
Yeah. So we integrate with basically every shopping cart, and if we don't, we can, as long as there's an API, we can do a custom integration for you. So we have programmers that work for us that can kind of do that. Obviously, like Shopify, Magento, OS Commerce, WooCommerce, that's a flip of a switch. Like you're on in a matter of a few seconds,
Right.
onboarded very quickly. Our system is very user friendly. You have a lot of reports on the back end. We make things very easy. We hold your hand through the whole process.
Right.
So
I'll give you one more that's not quite as popular. It's Symbolic.
I don't know. I can't confirm, but I'm
Okay.
sure we can integrate. So yeah, I don't know if our system automatically integrates, but
Right. I
don't know.
Yeah, it's less popular, but it's a Shopify competitive, basically.
Okay.
Right. So awesome. I think what you're doing is great. It's in line with, I mean, it's pure Americana, helping small businesses grow, compete against the big guy, right? I mean, the tools today are there to really compete against the big players of the world. Are you today direct to consumer goods, non-perishable, or do you have perishable products as well?
We have temp controlled areas, but as far as refrigerated perishable, we're currently not doing that.
Okay.
We can definitely kind of push you to the right partners that we can kind of help with that. That is something that we are working on in the future, but currently we're not doing that.
Right. So you've got temperature control for maintaining just a good temperature.
Well,
so
yeah,
plastics aren't melting.
Yeah, mostly like supplements and cosmetics. Those are some of the clients that require. We have some chocolate that requires step control.
Right.
A few chocolate customers. So clients. So
you can have perishable, but just not fast turnaround perishable.
Right. If it requires refrigeration, we don't do that.
Okay, perfect. That's I mean, that's a lot of products out there in the world, right? And that's a lot of mom and pop products.
Yeah.
So if you're out in the world and you're thinking about an idea and you want to get it to market, you think you can manufacture it or get it out, ShipBots is a good solution to get started if you're outgrowing your garage. Or for me, I hate packaging stuff.
Yeah.
Like I get to that point in the process, I want to get the sale done and be done.
Yeah.
Like that's where I'm at, right? So, and I'm like, God, I got to package all this stuff. Like it's almost to me like the work starts after the sale.
Absolutely. Well, and that's a cost that's a cost center. It's not a profit center, and it's an opportunity cost for the time that you're spending packaging and storing an item. Well, you could be spending doing something that makes you money, or spend time with your family, or have some fun.
Yeah. So if you've got a dream product, you want to make it. I mean, your dreams can come true for starting at $200 a month, right? To get it started and going, and a website and all that stuff. I mean, and you get a Square account for free, a website for $10 a month on the high side. Right. It does some stuff.
Another thing unique about us is we have an agreement, but there's no contract. So if you're not happy, you just leave. And we believe in our product, we believe in our service, and we're not going to hold you to staying with us.
I also think for most things, the days of long-term contracts are probably over as well, right? Either it works or it doesn't.
You'd be surprised with 3PLs. A lot of our competitors, they hold you there. We have a client that just moved to us. They were unhappy about 6 months ago with their current solution, and they couldn't leave because their 3PL wouldn't let them leave.
They're going to sue them if they left.
Well, yeah, they'd be responsible for the terms of the contract. So they decided to just kind of wait it out, and we just got them last week. I mean, we're happy to have them, but it sucks that they had to go through that they were held hostage by the 3PL.
Yeah, I've always been under the belief if the business relationship isn't working out for whatever reason, that throw the contract away, right? And let's separate ways, because the amount of business we might be doing in the future could drastically outweigh the remaining, to have an unhealthy relationship for the rest of the contract just has never felt good to me. That's like, I deal with that with a lot of old school REIT guys, right? The real estate investment group guys are just like, nope, contract.
Yeah.
Okay, well, the judge will probably throw that out if we go to court, but so fantastic. I've had a great time today talking with you, sir.
Absolutely.
Do you have anything that you'd like to leave the audience with? Tips, tricks, words of wisdom? Obviously you've been through the trenches here with all these different business ventures, and some successes and some stepping stools or rungs on some ladders that maybe weren't as successful, but they're learning experiences. Do you have anything for us?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about finding the right product, right? I think that what through my experience is finding a niche, like be different, like think outside the box. Don't try to follow the path of what everybody else is doing. Like, find ways to improve your product, and don't be afraid to kind of jump in and make sure that you're talking with the right people, where it's starting from your freight forwarder to your 3PL or to your customers. Like, talk to as many people as you can. Talk to your 3PL, understand your numbers, understand where your profit can be and what your potential can be. And work with a 3PL like ShipBots that wants to partner with you and thinks of you as a human being, as somebody they want to invest in a business they want to see grow. And try to stay away from 3PLs that just want to take your money, and they don't care if you're profitable or not, and they won't give you the service. So make sure you're reading reviews, making sure you're doing your diligence. And e-commerce is great. Like, if anybody's thinking about getting into it, I think that with the right business plan, the right idea, you could be very successful. It could be very lucrative, and don't be afraid of failure.
Well, and you take away what, in my opinion, is the worst part of e-commerce, which is the pack and
Right.
pull and pack. So
yeah, and I think that's a misconception for a lot of people, is that I'm too small, it's too expensive to work with the 3PL. But when you actually do the numbers and look at the alternatives, it could cost you more not to work with the 3PL. And you have to kind of have to have those conversations to understand and really be proven of that theory.
Right. Somebody's out there and they want to work with you. How would they get in contact with you?
Well, if you go to shipbots.com, if you click the contact us button, fill out a form. One of our sales rep will get in touch with you. I see all the leads that come in, and I'm very much involved in all the process. And if you wanted to talk to me, I'm glad to just put my name in your request, and I'll make sure I reach out. My partner and I are both very much involved in our business. We're both co-founders, but we have a lot of good people working for us, and we just want to help people. So, don't hesitate to reach out. Shipbots.com. You'll find our contact information there. And if I can help you, I'll be there.
Wonderful. I love it. I love it when the founders and the operators are part of the everyday business and willing to talk to clients. It's a game changer for a lot of clients in that particular, with that mindset. So thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate the heck out of it. I hope you have a great time.
Thank you so much for having me. I enjoyed this.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye.
That's it for today's show, folks. If you'd like to join my text line community, the number is 314-370-2871. All you have to do to join that text line is send me any question about business or technology. I'll do all the research, and I'll give you an absolutely free, totally unbiased answer. Get to work.